Here to help me understand it is Brian Wice. He is a criminal defense attorney in Texas and an old friend of mine who knows a lot about the law, an appellate expert. Brian, it's good to see you. As a Texan, I wanted to get your thoughts about the fact that there wasn't even death or life with no parole on the table. She got 90. They shaved 9 years off this jury. But what are your thoughts about this verdict?
Ashleigh, first of all, it's great to be here and great to see you again after all those years. I think one of the things that resonates with me tonight, Ashleigh, is that this was a Travis County jury. Travis County is, of course, where Austin is the county seat. And we are talking about a municipality, a county that by some standards makes the Bronx look conservative. And so the fact that a Travis County jury would turn around after 2 hours of deliberations, and I've had juries out longer and no test DWIs, and return a sentence of 90 years plus a $10,000 fine. And again, that fine is the ultimate statement, the ultimate notion that we're not digging your chili, like they say in East Texas. And so the facts of this case resonated with this Travis County jury, and they came and they gave this defendant the proverbial punishment beatdown.
So can I ask you why prosecutors would say, as the jury's heading out into deliberations, please don't give her less than 40? Why wouldn't they say, please don't give her less than 99? I mean, I personally have seen cases that weren't as egregious as this. She was shot in the face. And I've seen life, no parole for that stuff. Why wouldn't they have asked for a longer, heftier sentence than just 40?
You know, Ash, that's a great question. I think, speaking as someone with some prosecutorial experience, you always want to maintain credibility with the jury. And I think by lowballing this jury, if you will, and saying, look, nothing less than 40, they've maintained credibility with the jury and saying, look, this is the floor. It's certainly not the ceiling. And we're not suggesting that you shouldn't assess the maximum, only that you shouldn't, as a matter of justice and common sense, go any lower than 40.
Okay, so I am always fascinated by juries. I always wish I could be a fly on the wall, as does everybody in the criminal justice system, or the orb. What do you make of the fact that they just shaved 9 years off the max? Like, what message is that? What do you think was in their heads with that whole, oh, let's just, cut it back by 9?
You know, anybody that tries to second guess or first guess, if you will, what 12 citizens brought together is different from themselves as they are from the defendant, what they're thinking, particularly when it comes to assessing punishment in a non-capital case like this, you are better off playing the ponies at Aqueduct. You know, I tried a case back in the day when I was still trying cases, I think in the Reagan administration. And it was back in the days of the habitual criminal statute where 2 prior convictions meant automatic life. And we got a note from the jury. What's the difference between life and 99? And my client's like, well, what do they want to know? I'm like, I don't think you want to know. They ended up giving him 25. And we talked to the jury afterwards. I said, why did you send out a note wanting to know the difference between life and 99 if you gave this guy 25? And they're like, we figured this is the only opportunity we would ever have to get that question answered. We don't know what went on in that jury room. There may have been the traditional compromise verdict, although probably not a lot of compromise. I don't think you had anybody holding out for 5 or 15 or 10. And whether or not you had somebody holding out for life or 99 is, again, one of those questions that we ask ourselves, like, why can't we rewind after Memorial Day? But at the end of the day, this verdict from a Travis County jury, actually, make no mistake, this is a huge W for Travis County DA Jose Garza and his prosecutors.
That's a big win. It is. I do have to ask you about this whole notion of parole, because we live really long these days. I mean, living to 90 isn't weird. Living to 95 isn't totally weird either. And she could get out in 30 years, which is 65 years old. That's pretty young by a lot of standards now. Do you think she has a shot at the first crack at parole? Do you think she could actually get it on her first try?
Give me a second. No, I don't. Look. Your typical defendant in a high-profile murder case such as this has a better shot of winning a daytime Emmy than making his or her first or even second parole. Look, we're in a situation right now where by the time this defendant takes a peek at the parole board, a couple of things. They may be colonizing Mars, or, we used to say, well, her parole officer hasn't been born yet. Let me say this. her parole officer's parents haven't even started dating yet. We are looking at tremendous time before she even comes within an area code of walking before the Board of Pardons and Paroles. And I'm telling you, there are no tougher group of people in this state than the people who Governor Greg Abbott appoints to hear pleas from defendants in high-profile cases like this.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.